Well, hello, everybody. I just wanted to welcome you all to the Home-Based Franchise Business webinar. We have two very exciting franchisors to present tonight. We have Mike Welsh with Dryer Vent Wizard, and we also have Ann Powers with ADVANTACLEAN. So both are going to be presenting tonight. But before we get started, I wanted to just give you a little bit of history about who FranNet is, how we help people, and maybe a little bit of Franchise 101, and then we'll jump straight into the presentations. And then as soon as the presentations are completed, we'll get into some questions and answers. My guess is we'll be done a little bit before 7 o'clock Pacific time, maybe even a little bit earlier. And we are recording this, and we will send out a recording to everyone on the call and webinar just in case you didn't get to hear the whole thing. So as I mentioned before, my name is Paige Nickel. I've been a FranNet consultant for a little over 15 years. My brother and I own the FranNet territories for the Southern California area and also for the Pacific Northwest. But FranNet is a national company with over 100 offices, and we've been in business for almost 30 years now. And effectively what FranNet does, for those of you who are curious, we help people find and research franchises. We're kind of like a matchmaking service, if you will. So usually when people start looking at franchises or business ownership for the first time, they really don't know where to get started. So one of the things that FranNet has done is we've created an entire process about how to find, select, and research the right franchises. And we use a series of assessments, we do one-on-one consulting, and we have a whole bevy of professionals we work with, from attorneys to finance people and so forth, to help you make a selection. But effectively, we work with you in your local markets. So if you're not from the Southern California area or Pacific Northwest, you do have a FranNet associate in your local market, and that local associate will work with you on a one-on-one basis to help you find the right business. But what we want to do tonight is just kind of introduce you to some home-based businesses just to give you a flavor for what's out there. There's over 3,000 different concepts that you could look at, but oftentimes people tend to gravitate towards things they're familiar with. So what we want to do is kind of introduce you to some concepts maybe you haven't heard of before, but these are home-based franchises that are relatively inexpensive service businesses that you might find very interesting. So really kind of the goal here is to lead you towards success, and how we're going to go ahead and do that is that we're going to introduce you through this process to some different franchises. If these franchises are not ones that are the right fit for you, then what we would do is have you take one of our online assessments, and that online assessment would help us find out which businesses are appropriate for you, and then we would help you in the research. If one or both of these concepts is of interest to you and you want to find out more, then what we would do is we would get you in contact with the franchisor so you could get some more information, and more importantly, we would coach you through the process of researching those businesses. So what's realistic? Tonight we wouldn't expect anyone to hear from Mike Welsh or from Ann Powers and say, boy, that's it, that's the business I've always wanted to do, and this is the right franchise for me. Really what we're hoping to promote here is probably more curiosity. Wow, you know what? I never thought of Dryer Vent Wizard, or I've never thought of ADVANTACLEAN. I've never even heard of those concepts or thought that they franchise, but boy, I'd like to learn a little bit more. That's really all we're hoping to gain from this. Or that you would say, boy, I'm not sure those are the right fit, but boy, you piqued my interest that FranNet may be a service that could help me, and since the service we provide is at no cost, maybe it's something we want to look into a little bit further. Oh, missed a slide there. So a little bit about the franchise industry, and then we'll get into the home-based business models, and then we'll close out with questions and answers. As far as where franchising is gone, what you're really seeing now is that there is a whole new industry starting to grow with service-based, retail, semi-absentee, all different types of things. So no longer is it burgers and fries or Subway or UPS stores or things like that. There's all kinds of things out there. And so one of the advantages that FranNet brings to the table is that we're able to introduce you to things that you may not know of that exist. And many of these companies have been around for many years and are very successful. But what we really want to do tonight is really just kind of open your eyes onto two very unique concepts so you can learn a little bit more about what they do and hopefully spark some interest. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have Ann Powers come in from ADVANTACLEAN, and Ann's going to go ahead and she's going to hold on, her slide should be coming up here. Hold on one second. There we go. And Ann, you should be able to control your own slides. So why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself, Ann, and go ahead and take it from here. Can you hear me, Ann? Ann, are you there? Ann?
The conference has been unmuted.
Are you there, Ann?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
I can now. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, okay. So we're going to talk first a little bit about some misconceptions about our brand. The name ADVANTACLEAN. We are not a maid service. We're not a cleaning company. What we do is light environmental services that have to do with indoor air quality. The company is 23 years old. We've been franchising for about 7 years now. We have 100 individual franchisees that own a little over 200 different territories across the country. We also are not like some of the restoration companies that you've probably heard of, the ServPros, the Pure Cleans out there. Our CEO, Jeff JUDE, owned a large business that was loss control and recovery and really saw a better way to do this industry. So we've carved out a great market for us. We've developed different unique services. We focus on 4 primary areas, and that is mold, which is about 50% of our business. I'm not sure, Blair, why my slides are not popping up.
You want me to go?
Yeah.
Okay. Just tell me when you, and I'll just advance it.
Okay, great. So the core business of ours, really, we have 5 different revenue streams for you to draw from. Mold, which is about 50% of our business. We do water damage, which is about 25%. We do moisture control. This is a new service that we've just rolled out that we're extremely excited about, moisture control and prevention. We do air duct, dryer vent, and coil cleaning. Now, we do this residentially, but we also have a piece that is commercial-based. So once you've started residential air duct cleaning, it's a segue to get you into a huge commercial market, HVAC, coil cleaning, and maintenance. So the thing with our services is that the only thing that we do that's an emergency service is water. So you're not competing with the ServPros or the Pure Cleans, and it does give you a much better quality of life when you're not focusing on so many emergency services. Next slide. So when we look for owners, our model is more of a one where we are not looking for owners who want to be Chuck in the truck. There aren't many people who get up in the morning and decide, I think I'll start a business, sucking out water. So our model is built so that our owners work on hiring employees, managing the business, motivating your team. So one of the things that we do to help you starting out is we provide you with what we call a 90-day plan. And so this is a plan that is going to help you get in and build some referral sources for your business so you can start seeing income coming in pretty quick. So we work with people in the real estate industry, insurance brokers, people who do plumbing, roofers, maid services, builders, remodelers, facility engineers. So the role we like to see our owner really take on is that of the B2B networking and not, like I said, working in the truck. So I will tell you, if you're the kind of person that can get out there, you're a good people person, you can get out there and make the calls, this is a great way to start your business off. ADVANTACLEAN, to help you with this, we will compile really comprehensive lists of all the people in your area that fit these different distinct communities. We go in with a warm introduction. So we're sending direct mail pieces, we're email blasting them. So by the time our franchisees walk in, they are walking in with a warm introduction as opposed to a cold call. Next slide. Unit economics. ADVANTACLEAN has one of the highest margins I've seen in a lot of franchises. So our average annual revenue for our franchisees comes in about at the a little over $600,000 mark. Because ADVANTACLEAN has modeled their concept so that we do not do reconstruction. We don't do fire or big disaster recovery. So your margins are as high as they can be in this industry. We will go in, we'll do a cleanup, maybe a tear down, but not the reconstruction. So our average gross margins come in at about 76.2%. And this is after your labor and your cost of goods is taken out. Our average revenue per job comes in about $2,386. With the new moisture control and prevention that we've just rolled out, we're seeing average jobs come in between $4,000 and $8,000 a job. So our average total number of jobs for our franchisees come in at about 337. So I think you can see that it is a high margin, low overhead business. You can start this out of your home. If you ever do need a place to work out of, that can happen in just a warehouse kind of scenario that comes in very low cost. Next slide.
There we go. Hold on one sec.
Oh, there we go.
There you go. Oh, there it is.
Whoops. We got to go back one to the training and support. Right. The training and support at ADVANTACLEAN is seriously unparalleled. So I think our biggest part of support is that we do have a national call center. So our franchisees have their phones rolled over to our national call center. These people are there 24/7, 365 days a week. You have highly trained personnel answering your phones and booking your appointments. So there is no need to hire administration people. Our call center last year, for 85 franchisees last year, booked over 24,000 appointments for our franchisees. They go through the same training as the franchisee, so when somebody calls in, they're getting somebody very knowledgeable who will go ahead and book that appointment. New service we have now is outbound calls, so our call center is getting in there and finding you business as well. We have a national accounts department. They are the ones that are going to help you get into places like Sears, Best Buy, Bed Bath, and Beyond, because we do have contracts with those big retail spaces. The training, we do 2-week training. We provide you with Sandler sales training, launch and growth training. You're going to have different corporate support, employees of ours that are going to come out and visit you at your site, make calls with you, do annual strategic planning with you. You'll have technical support, will help you hit all of the benchmarks and financial goals for your business. And then on marketing and advertising, again, we do all of your websites. We provide you with phenomenal search engine optimization. If somebody's going to Google you in your area, you're going to come up in the top 3 in water damage, in mold, in moisture control, in AC, duct cleaning. So we're really big into social media. We have bloggers. We do all of your social media posting for you. We manage and pay for all of your accounts with the national directories. And this is all at no charge. It is included in the initial franchise fee, and some of it rolled into your royalties. Okay, next slide. So what we look for is people who are high energy, really results driven, you know, that you can set your goals and be able to overcome any obstacle to achieve them. Again, I will tell you that the big key factor with our business is being able to get out every day, call on people, and make those referral sources. Next slide. We are so excited. ADVANTACLEAN is one of 65 national strategic partners with St. Jude. Our CEO, Jeff Duden, is huge on giving back. And so the St. Jude project, our franchisees all commit to, when a child leaves St. Jude's, cancer-free or otherwise, we go in and we help those patients clean up their homes, make sure the air quality is good for these children to be able to come home to a safe environment. We're hosting a big celebrity golf classic. Jeff has just donated a kitchen to the North Carolina St. Jude Hospital. They've gone in and done great deals with different grocery stores to provide food. So it's kind of twofold for our franchisees. We do a lot of giving back, but the great press that you get, just turns into great business for us. And then the last slide. This is so exciting. We are all set to air on Undercover Boss. If any of you have ever seen the show, it's a pretty cool show. Our CEO did a segment for Undercover Boss. It'll be airing season 8, we think somewhere around October. But we know that's going to give us some incredible national press and be a really good boost for our franchisees. So that's it. I want to thank you for spending some time with me.
Thanks, Ann. So next up, we're going to have Mike Welsh with Our Event Wizard.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody, for being on the – yeah, I am. I'm here. Thanks, everybody, for being on the call tonight. Congratulations on looking at franchising. Congratulations on finding FranNet. Tremendous opportunity. I'm going to apologize in advance. I have a summer cold and sound horrible. But we're going to do our best to get through it. We've got a great franchise brand here. If I could ask everybody to mute their phones, that would be spectacular. It will eliminate background noise for the recording. What no one here knows.
I can mute everyone, but can you unmute yourself, Mike, if I do that?
I can, absolutely. You bet.
All right, let me go do that.
The conference has been muted.
All right. Are you there, Mike?
Can you hear me, Paige?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, perfect. So dryer fires. Nobody ever thinks about dryer fires, and most people on the call today had no idea that Dryer Vent Wizard was even a franchise, or in some cases that there was a need for the service. But if you look on every property and casualty watchdog website, dryer fires is in the top 5 causes of home fires in the U.S. Candles, smoking, electrical, and dryer fires. As a matter of fact, dryer fires cause an estimated 15,000 home fires per year, a lot of injuries, and unfortunately, about $200 million in property damage. So I'm just going to show you guys some slides, not so much for the shock factor, but just to show you that it surprises people. It's a real thing. Homes are destroyed, apartment complexes are destroyed, and lives can be destroyed. Well, how does that happen? Well, we see things like this all the time, right? Somebody threw a dryer vent on the outside of a wall so they could sell the house. Well, where was all the dryer vent lint going? It was venting into the attic. We see birds' nests. We find tennis balls in the dryer vents. That one had already caught on fire. Look at what Mr. Squirrel does when he gets inside of there. We cleaned this dryer vent out and found a bird. When you can't find your kids' toys, sometimes we find them inside of the dryer vents. There's the dog from the Toy Story. Robin's nest. I love this little critter right here. This little guy was living in a dryer vent, had a nice little nest there, unbelievably flammable, and it was keeping the dryer from running. So we're in the fire prevention business. Now, it's important to note that that's not why anyone ever calls us. No one ever calls and says, hey, I think my dryer is about to catch fire. They call us and say, my dryer isn't working. See, the good news in our business is that almost every home in America has a dryer. They all create lint, and that lint keeps the dryer from working efficiently. So everyone calls and says, my dryer is not working. Can you help me? It's a modest investment. Total investment is going to be $59,000 to $79,000. It's a home-based business, which means you have no retail costs to begin with, and we have 0 employees to start. And affectionately referred to those guys as Chuck in the truck. We call them the MVP. It's the man in the van with the plan. Our business model is for the first year, you are the only employee. That allows a quick ramp up and quicker profitability. We don't have any cost of goods because we sell a service. So if you think of the 3 things that erode margin when you first get started in a business, it's retail, labor, and goods, and we don't have any of those. We have a very flexible schedule. As a matter of fact, our owners go into our scheduling software and tell us when they're available to take appointments. It's a Monday through Friday business. We have an in-house call center that answers your phones 24/7, and we book your appointments for you. These people are amazing. They book 93% of the calls that come in to appointment on our owner's calendar. Now, this business is a little bit different than most because it's driven by marketing and by networking. There's very little sales. So if you find yourself on the other end of this call going, I want to own my own business, but I don't want to be really heavy customer acquisition, this is a perfect business for you because our business is driven by marketing and by networking. The business opens very quickly from the time someone signs franchise agreements to the time they're open in their market ready to go service a customer, 6 weeks. And it's a need business, not a want business. When I'm standing in your home and you understand that you have a fire hazard behind your dryer, your house is out of fire code, and it's going to continue to take you 3 hours to dry your laundry unless I fix it, you're going to let me fix the problem. This is something we're very proud of. We brag it up quite a bit because we're just a little old dryer vent cleaning franchise that no one ever heard of, except for Forbes Magazine. So Forbes Magazine recently ranked Dryer Vent Wizard one of the top 10 franchises in North America, under $150,000. And so the question is why? Well, it's our culture, right? It's our senior leadership. We have very tenured franchise leadership in our office. We have an awesome culture, an unbelievable family culture, but that doesn't win you awards like that. And it really came down to our marketing and customer acquisition strategies. And so when we think about marketing, we're marketing directly to consumers and we're marketing to appliance repair centers. So marketing directly to consumers, the owners in their local market are utilizing our team and our library of peripherals that have been built up for over the last 12 years, and we're doing the old school stuff. We're doing the new school stuff. We're doing the internet marketing, but we're also doing direct mail, money mailer, Valpak, door hangers. All that stuff works because when someone has a need for your service, they call, right? So did it just take you 2 hours to dry your laundry? Call us. You might have a fire hazard. And then the other side of the fence is we market from the corporate office to appliance repair centers in your territory. Now, the reason why we do that is because the bulk of our work comes to us from appliance repair centers. So on a regular basis, without the franchisees lifting a finger, doing anything, we will create, print, high gloss, heavy stock, oversized postcards, and newsletters, and we will ship them out to the appliance repair centers in their area, letting them know about our $25 referral fee. We'll also sometimes send them gift boxes. So every time we do that, we let the franchisees know that we sent gift boxes to their appliance repair centers with a reminder to follow up. And so you follow up with a box of donuts and say, hey, guys, I'm the fellow that sent you the foam foot that's sitting right there on your desk because, as you might well imagine, appliance repair centers don't get a lot of gift boxes, right? Or I'm the guy who sent you the coffee mug or whatever it was. Here's a box of donuts. If you ever come across a vent job you don't feel like doing, and they will immediately gravitate to that. They know exactly what they can see that vent job that they got stuck on that they didn't want to do. If you see a vent job you don't feel like dealing with, just hand my card to the customer, and every time they do business with us, I'll pay you a $25 referral fee. So next month when I bring you your box of donuts, there'll be referral fees in it if you send me customers. About 60% of your business will come in the form of appliance repair center referrals, and 40% of it will be direct response to marketing. Now, we've got a scheduling center in-house. These are corporate employees. This isn't outsourced. These people are in Detroit, Michigan, in our corporate office. We answer your phone 24/7. Every time it rings, we answer it as follows. Thank you for calling Dryer Vent Wizard. This is Christine. How can I make you smile today? We book your appointments for you. We confirm with the technician and with the customer via email, and we track all of your marketing results. And I said this earlier, they're machines. They are spectacular. Their booking rate is 93%. So do you have to be super handy to be in this business? No, handy helps, but you don't have to be a super techie kind of a person. So some of the former occupations of our owners they come from all walks of life. We've got CPAs, we've got vice presidents, we've got several pilots, we've got retired military, we've got an attorney, for goodness sakes, that cleans out dryer vents, real estate agents, systems engineers. We had the former PR director for the New York Knicks, a CEO of a Christian university. Now, they don't spend their entire lives in the van unless they choose to. If you want to scale this into a much bigger business and have many, many vans out on the road and get yourself out of the van and be the khakis and the golf shirt guy, absolutely. That is the big picture. The reason why we have everyone start in the van is so business ramps up quickly and you get an MBA on how to run the business. So I'm just going to go through here and show you some of the folks that are owners. We've got CPAs, we've got attorneys, we've got pilots, we've got people from all walks of life, CEO of a Christian university. So these are not, people that have had previous experience in the industry. These are people that were sitting on a webinar. To be candid, many, many, many of these people came from other FranNet offices around the country. They may have been displaced. They may have been disgruntled. They may have been just looking to work for themselves, own their own business, and build something substantial for themselves on webinars like this, and that's how we met these people. All right? So we've got award-winning training. Everyone goes through Dryer Vent Wizard University, 6 weeks of training. You're going through videos online, audio files online, pictorials online, how to sell the job, how to do all the technical aspects of the work, watching OSHA-approved safety videos. Once you've completed that, you come to the corporate office for 1 week of training in our facility, and then we send you out to go help run the business of one of our top owners. So right there in the market, running their business side by side with them for a week. So 6 weeks of award-winning training. We've got ongoing training. We've got things like the mobile training unit. So this beauty right here, this behemoth, drives around the country and goes and visits people in their market. That trailer is full of dryers, and we're training on new technologies, new techniques, those kind of things. But we have ongoing training. We have webinars. We have annual conferences. It's just a big, great family of successful people. So do you qualify for a Dryer Vent Wizard franchise? That's the question that most people ask when we first start talking to them. Here's the answer. If you have $100,000 net worth, so what you own minus what you owe equals $100K plus, you can produce $50,000 in liquidity, good interpersonal skills, relatively handy. If you can't change your own light bulb, this isn't the right franchise for you. If you value excellent customer service, have great leadership skills, want to be an owner-operator to begin with, the man in the van with the plan, and grow it from there at a pace that's comfortable for you, and you're a team player, that's what we're looking for in our next franchisee. So thank you guys very much for being on here. I'll go ahead and mute myself, Paige, and hand it back over to you, sir.
Thank you, sir. So I'm going to go ahead and unmute
The conference
everyone.
has been unmuted.
And that way, so Ann Powers with ADVANTACLEAN is online, and then we have Mike with Dryer Vent Wizard, and then I can answer any questions about FranNet or franchising in general. So why don't we do this? Why don't we go ahead and open it up for questions, and let's see if we can do it in kind of a controlled fashion. So who has some questions for myself, Ann, or Mike? Wow, no questions. Well, that surprised me.
There's one.
There nothing? Go ahead.
There's one in chat, Paige.
Okay. So Mike Gettleman asks cost of real estate for ADVANTACLEAN, or real investment for ADVANTACLEAN.
Right. So total investment, which would include our franchise fee of $49,000, $40,000 working capital, your van, your equipment, everything you need from start to finish, is about $225,000 all in. Now, we do have some phenomenal lease packages. We've got one for the van, which is no money down lease. And then we've got a second leasing option for the equipment, which is a pretty phenomenal lease because this one they approve in 2 days. It'll cover close to $50,000 of the equipment, the trailer that you need. They do not report to your credit bureaus, and they do not collateralize your home. And they come in at one of the most competitive rates I've seen for leasing or borrowing money.
Wonderful. Thank you. Yeah. Are there questions? I don't see any more in chat. Anyone want to speak up and ask any questions of Mike, myself, or Ann? All right. And what I'll kind of close this out with is what are the next steps. So we'll send out a copy of this recording so that you can, play it back and listen to it again. But really one of the next steps, if you want to learn more about either of these franchises or franchises in general and see which ones might be the right fit for you, since there's so many different concepts, is we will send you out our personal franchise assessment form. Probably take you about 15 or 20 minutes to fill out. It's very simple. But ideally what that assessment does is it lets the FranNet associate in your market know more about you and what types of businesses are going to be appropriate. It may very well be one of these businesses, or it may be something entirely different. So you'll get a link to that assessment. The results will be emailed back to you, and then the local associate in your market will call you and set up a time to review those results over the phone. And if it makes sense, set up a 2-hour face-to-face visit where you can really drill down and come up with the appropriate business model. And then from there, what they'll do is they'll start working with you on a research process so you can learn more about the different franchises out there, how to get financing, legal assistance, and everything you'll need to know to make a good decision. So you'll be contacted probably within the next 24 hours. You'll get a link to the assessment. And then if you'd like to learn more about ADVANTACLEAN or Dryer Vent Wizard, we'll get you to the appropriate people at both companies and get you started on that process. So I want to thank everyone for joining us tonight. I especially want to thank Mike from Dryer Vent Wizard and Ann from ADVANTACLEAN for taking the time out this evening. and letting us know about their franchise. And I'll wish you all a great evening. Have a good night.
Oh, well, thanks for having us.
Thanks, Dan.
Okay, bye.